Welcome, personal finance and economics teachers. We are going to run through some ways to activate learning. I am very glad that you are here. I'm going to share two strategies in 2 minutes. So let's go ahead and dive in. Our first strategy is going to be called Pass It Back. Now, this is very simple. What you're going to do is pose a question or a problem you want your students to solve, and each student is going to respond individually on a sticky note. Then the students are going to pass their response back to the person behind them. When that person behind them receives their sticky note, they are going to review that information and add their own ideas and give their own feedback. Students are then going to pass it back again to the person behind them and repeat that same process. You can repeat this with your students as many times as you see fit. The magic, though, happens when we return those note cards to the original student to review. This is wonderful peer-to-peer feedback, and it's a great way for students to hear from each other on ideas to solve a problem or an economic concept instead of just hearing from you. So this is a great way to have students engage with one another in a orderly fashion. The next strategy is called stop and stand. This one is going to start just like our pass it back, where the students are going to respond individually to a question or a problem that you're going to have them solve. And students are going to stand once they've documented their thought. So after you've posed that question and the students have thought about it, they're going to write it down individually and then they're going to stand. You are then going to call on your students at random to share out what is on their paper. And once they do that, the rest of the class will check off any points that they have heard that was shared. So they hear something that they have on their own paper, they're going to check it off. Okay. Next, your students will then sit down. If they've heard all of the points that they have documented and they've heard them all, they will then sit down, and you're going to continue calling on students until everyone in the class is seated. This is a great way to diagnose gaps in learning, misconceptions, or really shared grasp understandings. This is a quick, formative assessment strategy that is engaging. It can happen at the beginning of class from the lesson the day before, or at the end of class, or right smack in the middle of your course where you want to check the learning of your students. So please try these out. Give these a little try in your class and give us a shout on Facebook on our Georgia Economics Teachers Facebook group, as well as our community page at community.gadoe.org. You can definitely find us there with some more ideas on how to use this in class. And if you have a question for me, Leah, give me a shout at socialstudiesedmatters@gmail.com. All right. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one.